Hello and welcome to Lynchburg Live. I'm your host, Linda Smith. We've seen the commercials on television and we all know that PetSmart is a pet supply store that allows you to bring your pet shopping with you. What you probably don't know is the number of wonderful things that PetSmart does in the community for animal welfare. My guests tonight are Danny Wilder, who is you're the general manager of PetSmart, and Gale Wolford, who is an animal care specialist at PetSmart.
Manager.
So delighted to have both of you here. As we get started, and either one of you can answer these questions, can you tell us where PetSmart is in Lynchburg?
It's at 4026 Ward Road. We're in the same shopping center as Target.
And what are your hours?
We're open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 9, and on Sunday we're open 10 to 7. Our salon also opens up 2 hours prior to the store opening.
Now that's your grooming salon.
Yes.
I mean, you don't have a hair salon.
No, it's not. Well, it's a hair salon, but just for dogs.
For dogs. Okay. Now, what's involved with your job as manager of this store?
I oversee all the operations of the store, and my primary function is making sure that pets and pet parents have a safe and enjoyable visit to our store.
Now, it is true that you can bring your pet shopping with you.
Oh, absolutely. We're one of the few locations where you can do that.
All right. Now, I'm guessing that not a lot of people bring cats because I think cats are notoriously bad shoppers.
Now, cats are notoriously bad for getting out of the house.
Yes.
But no, you can bring your cats in, and we do see more than you would think, but certainly not as many as we do the dogs.
Do you ever have any conflicts between dogs who are shopping?
No, we've actually been really lucky. I've been there 6 years, and the pet parents are very respectful of boundaries.
Great.
So they are very respectful of the boundaries, and when they bring the dogs in, we make sure they do have leashes.
You know, I think it's just cool that the dogs can come in there with their owners, and cats too, if you dare take one in there. Now, what kind of pet supplies do you all sell? Or
we offer a full range of supplies for dogs, cats, small animals, reptiles, fish. You know, anywhere from food to treats to training supplies, toys, crates, puppy pads, anything that you may need. The only thing that we don't offer in this location is prescription-type foods, and those you can find at our Charlottesville or our Roanoke locations because they have the Banfield Animal Hospitals.
But you do have special diet foods.
We have special diet foods, you know, especially a lot of people want the all-natural foods now, organic-type foods, foods for sensitive skin. We can certainly help with any of those.
And you do have pet furniture.
Absolutely.
But this I know because I have a pet condo for our cat that we got there.
Absolutely. We have a back wall almost entirely made up of cat furniture.
I think that's cool. Tell me, what kind of job opportunities, if people were interested in looking at PetSmart as a place of employment?
It's really unique because there's a multiple career type opportunities you can find at PetSmart. You know, I have 6 managers that work with me, so there's a career path on that aspect. But a lot of people who come in, they want a different type career path, and we can do that through pet trainers, which I employ 2 full-time pet trainers, and we can also do it through our salon. I have multiple pet stylists that do full-time as well, and we can do those jobs. We do all the training either in our store or we send them out to accredited training locations within PetSmart so they can become accredited at either job they have. So there's a lot of different career paths you can come and find, not just your typical retail where you can actually not be in management but yet really have a career path.
Something I just thought of. Do you all have puppy school? Are you the ones that do puppy school?
Absolutely, yes. We do puppy school. We have a full training spectrum. You can come in and do puppy classes. You can do beginner, intermediate, or advanced classes. We also do private one-on-one teaching with dogs. One of the recent things we've even done is like a puppy playtime on Sundays where you can bring in your puppies and just kind of a open playtime during the wintertime since it's a little bit harder to get out to the dog park.
We have a friend who has a puppy and has been going to puppy school.
Oh, okay.
And that's what made me think of it.
Yeah,
I wonder if they're coming to see you.
Yep, they have a lot of fun.
All right, Gale, now you work directly with the animals.
Yes.
Can you tell us what's involved with your job as?
Just seeing the specific needs for each animal, making sure our pet parents are educated on how to take care of their animals, and just helping them find all the necessities that they need.
Your job is probably the job that I would like to have because, you know, I'm a big animal advocate and probably I would go home with every cat out there if I was in the process of working. All right, now, what kind of live animals do you offer customers in your store?
Well, we have birds, we have small animal, and we have reptile. Our birds, we have conures, parakeets, and finches. Now I have quite a few variety of hamsters. We have chinchillas, we have guinea pigs, and with our reptiles, it's anywhere from snakes to turtles to lizards.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, we have a great variety.
And do you care for all those yourself?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not much of
I
a-
have my own staff.
I'm not
So,
much
yeah.
of a reptile person, but that's doesn't mean that they're not great pets. It's just that I've never had an opportunity to have one. And you said you offered grooming services, and you have somebody on site.
Oh yes. Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Do people ever bring cats in to be groomed?
Well, we really do not do cats. I do believe maybe a while ago it was.
We
the
can do
norm.
cats occasionally. And if we're going to do cats, it's more of a select type thing where we'll do maybe the claws and things. And
Right.
I have 10 groomers that work for
Oh
me
my
and a couple of
goodness.
bathers, but only a couple of them are actually trained to do the cats. And we really have to monitor the hours where we bring them in because of the stress on the cats. You wouldn't want to bring them in on a Saturday when I may have multiple dogs throughout my salon. So you wouldn't want to bring a cat in at that time. So if we're going to do a cat, we have to make sure we do it early in the morning and during a weekday.
Yeah, there really are. There's such a difference between
Oh,
cats
yes.
and
Yeah,
dogs
the
and their
stress level
temperaments.
is just
right.
so we have to be really careful of that. So we don't do a full groom on a cat certainly.
That's I'm a cat owner, and that's just questions that I was interested in personally. All right, one of the things that I think that makes PetSmart such a unique and a wonderful store is that you all bring in live pets from local shelters and have them there for adoption. How does that work?
Well, we work with a couple of different adoption agencies, and currently we have Lynchburg Humane Society and Campbell County Humane Society. We have a area for cats that we have in our store where they can
Right.
bring cats in, and they can leave them so they get a greater showing. With
Right.
a number of footprints that come through the store, we have a lot more people take a look at it. What we're able to do is bring them in, and we have volunteers that come in and work with them to show the cats. And they typically will house them for up to about 3 weeks and see if they can get them adopted out at that point. We also do adoption events where we'll bring in a lot larger array of animals, either dogs or cats from the same agencies, and we'll have a lot more volunteers in so they're able to do it at that time as well.
Do you just have dogs or cats? Do you ever have rabbits? I know
Just
people are
cats.
taking.
Yeah, just
That
the
we
dogs
keep.
and cats for adoptions. And PetSmart quit selling rabbits several years ago. And so, at this point, it's just the cats and dogs.
And there's no charge to these shelters for bringing this in?
No, it's
That's
actually
wonderful.
a little bit the reverse. What we do is, because we work with a lot of really good vendors, and when a pet comes into our facility, if they're adopted out, we actually make a donation to PetSmart Charities and to that organization, to Campbell County, to Lynchburg. So once their pets are adopted from us, there's not a fee to them, but we actually pay them as well.
That was one of the things in doing research for this show that I thought was so wonderful, that you do return money into the community every time a local shelter animal is adopted through
absolutely.
you. And I just think that's wonderful. And now PetSmart and PetSmart Charities are together but still separate.
Correctly.
Ends of-
They're ran separately, but they're still the same parent company.
Okay. I want to ask you about that in a minute, but now, Gail, are you also the person that cares for the shelter animals?
They do have people that come in
Okay.
on a regular basis, but we do have certain times that we go in, and of course at night before we leave I check on everybody and give them a treat and make sure everything's okay.
And you said you keep them about how long from the shelters?
About 3 weeks. They'll
That's-
come in and just rotate them. They'll go to a foster home, just so you know they're not there in
Right.
the little.
I mean, I just think that's wonderful. I think that people who are animal lovers are going to come into your store, and they're likely to see an animal in a cage and have their heart, go out to this animal and take it
Exactly.
home. Whereas if you're going out to buy pet food at the grocery store, you're not likely to have that experience. So, being visible, I think, is such an important
We
part
have
of.
a very high adoption rate.
What is your adoption rate, by the way?
I don't know
Do you
exactly the rate.
We don't have an exact rate, but I know my goal for this year is to adopt out several hundred pets, and we base that off of what we adopted years previously. So it is really high, but we don't have it's percentage, a rate of what comes in that gets adopted out.
Do you have any idea how much you adopted, like last year? Your adoption
It was
rate?
roughly 283 pets.
That's really good, I think.
Oh yeah, we're real proud of that. But we work with a lot of really fantastic groups of the adoption agencies in this area. are very passionate about what they do. So they're easy to work with, and so it makes it work real well for all of us.
Tell me about your in-store seminars. I think that's really interesting, what kind of seminars you have.
Okay, we've got a couple of the more recent ones we've done is loose leash walking, which is a 1-hour seminar to help teach pet owners how to have their dogs walk with them on a leash versus pulling. We've also done, recently I mentioned earlier, the puppy playtime, which was a 1-hour thing where they can come in on Sundays and just get a bunch of puppies together.
So cute.
Just, to do something during the wintertime that makes it a little bit easier for them to get socialization.
I think that's cool. I mean, I really like that. Now, if somebody that's watching this show is interested in signing up for a seminar, how would they do that?
Just call the store.
Just call the store? All right, you all have brought some fantastic pictures. And Phil, if you'll put the pictures up on the screen, we'll get them to tell us what they are.
This is one of the newest things PetSmart started, and this is something that we've been really passionate about at the store. PetSmart has seen the amount of donations that we need to do, and for different local organizations. So earlier this year, we started doing a campaign where we asked our pet parents as they're coming in if they'd like to purchase a toy for donation to a humane society. And it's going to last through the end of February. And so far, we have donated several hundred toys. And it's been all through our pet parents' efforts. It's a wonderful opportunity for them to donate and for the adoption agency to receive a lot of toys that otherwise they would have to go out and purchase on their own.
That's fantastic. It's sort of like grocery stores asking you if you'd like to donate a canned good for the food bank. And that's
Exactly.
wonderful.
Exactly.
That's wonderful.
And that's the entrance to our salon facilities. You can see we kind of have a separate entrance. They have to come through our main entrance outside, then we have our separate entrance. We do have the glass windows out front, so while the pets are being groomed, the pet parent can watch and observe what's going on so they can see how their pet's looking and how it's coming out. That is one of the screenshots of Lynchburg Humane Society where we do house the cats.
Oh.
And there's one of our cats
Yeah.
we got in, and I do believe he's actually already been adopted.
Yes.
Wonderful.
So we're real happy with that one.
Who could not adopt him?
Oh.
Or that one.
And there, obviously another one.
What a face.
And they ham it up for the crowds a lot.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like they realize that, hey, if I'm cute and adorable, I'll get adopted
And they
quicker.
reach through the cage.
Absolutely. And that's some
Love a Pet.
toys that we've got right now. And those are called Love a Pet toys. And part of the thing with those toys is when a pet parent buys those, 10% of the purchase price goes to PetSmart Charities.
Wonderful.
And that's a puppy kit, which is a new thing that PetSmart is doing. It's a $19.99 charge, but there's a lot of different things that come in that. One of the things that comes in is a free 1-hour puppy orientation class. They can also get $15 off a bag of specialty food. They can also do a free puppy bath. And there's over $100 worth of additional coupons available in the kit.
Wonderful. Simply
Nurse is one of PetSmart's brands, and it's an all-natural food, but it's a food that we're still able to keep the price in because we don't advertise, and it is made exclusively for PetSmart. And that just shows kind of a variety of the beds that we carry for the dogs. And this shows a lot of our supplements and different medications that they can purchase, and we have this section for cats and dogs.
Cool.
And that shows where they can come in and sign up for our pet training class. Our pet training is set up when you first walk in the store. It's on the left-hand side of the store in the corner. They have kind of privacy walls up, and they have a specialized floor, so it's really nice and easy on the paws and everything as they're playing around.
You all do so many things in that store. It
Yeah,
just
it's a
amazes me.
unique situation. And that's another shot of our training rink. Just kind of a side glance, and it shows kind of the depth of it and the privacy walls. And this shows just one of the signage we have up talking about homeless pets and the things that we can do to help work with the homeless pet problem. And PetSmart Charities is a partner with that. And this is one of the things that we've got posted up talking about when the National Feral Cat Day is. And that shows one of the cage cards showing one of the ones who's lucky to be heading home.
I love that.
They're sweet.
And this is one of the signs that we show up showing an adoption event. We do different adoption events throughout the year. We'll bring in a lot more animals, a lot more volunteers to make a much bigger emphasis. And a lot of times when we do that, we also increase the donation we make to the adoption agency as well.
That's wonderful. How often do you have these adoption events?
We do them at least quarterly.
That's great.
But I also have, I've been real fortunate with the adoption partners we have in this area. So I have kind of an open door policy as far as if they want to set up one at a different time, they just contact me and I bring them in. So a lot of times, especially as the weather warms up,
Right.
I'll have a different group in almost every weekend.
That's wonderful. And kittens are coming.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
It's
Yeah, the
almost
kittens
kitten
always
time.
come. Whenever we have an adoption event, the kittens come in and we'll have a lot more than what we typically would carry in the store.
I just think that's great. Right now, the local events, are you all involved with Bark in the Park? Is that
We were involved as far as they had it set up out front, just kind of getting information out for it, but it wasn't something we were funding or anything. But they did have a table set up out front when they were trying to get everybody up for that.
all right? And that was not a PetSmart anything.
No, that was
Okay.
not a PetSmart one.
All right. How about these in-store photo sessions that you have with Santa Claus at Christmas? I think
Okay.
that's cool.
Yeah, those
Bizarre.
those are a lot of fun. Those are set up with the PetSmart sets them up, but they're set up to fund the different adoption agencies, and all the funds of that will go to the adoption agency that's in there doing Santa Claus. And the volunteers actually come in and they play Santa Claus and they do the pictures, and they actually handle all of that on their end. What PetSmart does is we give them the photo backdrop, we give them the place to come in, we advertise it, and we have it all set up for them so they have the space to do it.
And I had this really funny question. For Christmas, I had a friend of mine who was on the show who is a professional Santa Claus. And he was telling us about how kids get really excited and he'll be holding them on his lap and they'll pee on him. So, in just listening to you, I'm thinking, do the in-store Santa Clauses at PetSmart have that same problem?
No, you know what? I have not really seen that. The only time we got nervous is we actually had a mini horse come in this year.
Oh my goodness.
So we were a little nervous this year with having a horse come in because I've been there 6 years and it's the first time we've had a
In the
horse come
store.
in. Yeah, but they brought a mini horse to have the picture taken with Santa this year. So it was pretty neat. But Santa played along with it great and it turned out really well.
That's wonderful. I'm glad I asked you that question. So all around, what would you say the goal is of PetSmart Charities?
PetSmart Charities in the like to end pet homelessness.
And they certainly are doing a lot, I think, to
Yeah,
do that.
we have more funding than any organization out there. We fund over 3,000 different organizations with it. The big focus is on spaying and neutering. They also provide grants to veterinary students for their studies as well.
That's something that's really a positive for PetSmart, to help these kids who really want to be a veterinarian go to school. I think that's great.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's great.
absolutely.
All right, the larger sources of funding that PetSmart Charities, where does the majority of the funding come from?
We have very generous pet parents who come in, and at our pen pads, if they're checking out, if they're paying by debit card or credit card, they can select from $1 or more on that pen pad. Or if they're paying a different type of method of payment, they can just let us know at the register and we can scan that in as well. So it really comes from the pet parents making those donations.
I think that's a lot. This community is so generous, I
They're
think.
very generous.
Where nonprofits are concerned, where animals are concerned, in doing this show, I found out that people really will come forward and help out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And a lot of people are pet parents, and they consider their pets their children, and
Yes.
I think that's great.
Absolutely.
All right, every pet that gets adopted, you said that you all return the money and
Mhm.
back into the community. I asked you that earlier, and here it is. But I think that, how do you do that? How do you return it to the community?
It's handled through PetSmart. So when the agency, let's say for instance, if they're coming in to adopt a cat from Lynchburg Humane Society, we collect the fee, which is an $80 fee. I collect it at the store, and I actually ring it into the register with a coupon booklet. So the pet parent also gets a coupon booklet for in the store. And some of the things that are in that are like a free bag of food. Prina helps sponsor that.
How
So
wonderful.
Prina is one of our sponsors. So they do that to help sponsor it. So there's a free bag of food. There's discounts on litter and litter boxes, things that they're going to need to raise that pet. I collect the funds at the store, and by me scanning it, that's what triggers PetSmart to know that, hey, we need to make a donation to this organization, because I put in the organization number when I do that. And then the organizations come by and pick the funds up at the store. We don't keep it in the store. I'll just put it in my safe and we hold it till the organization comes in. But it gives us a chance to scan it through, provide the coupon book from Purina, and that gives us that opportunity to record that information so they do get the donation.
I think that's great. Now, Gail, when you have a pet, I was going to say a patient, when you have a pet there and they become sick while they're there, how is that handled?
Well, we call the vet and they see the doctor.
They do?
Mm-hmm. They sure do. We have a quiet room. If we notice any animal on the floor that may be a little distressed, he goes to the quiet room, we monitor, and if need be, they go to the vet.
I think that's cool.
Oh yeah, and we give the medicine, any treatment that is deemed necessary. They receive it.
I know that the animals that you get from the shelters, that they're bringing you what they think are healthy animals, but animals, like you said, cats, they do get stressed out and can get ill from stress, just like people do.
Oh yeah.
So, all right, do you all have, I know PetSmart Charities has a website. Do they also have a Facebook page?
Yes, they also have Facebook as well.
And how about you all?
At the store as well, we have our website and Facebook as well.
Okay. All right, now, if each of you could say to me and to this audience what it means to you to be working at PetSmart, what would you say?
Truly blessed. It's just a blessing to go to work every day, love every second of it, and know that I'm making a difference.
Now, do you work with fish?
I do.
You do?
I do. Yep. They're just as much fun as the rest of them.
A fish is not really a communicative
Oh,
pet, are they?
We have some cichlids that are pretty communicative. They know when you're walking by, they recognize you, and they know when it's feeding time.
I wouldn't have thought that fish would be like that. How about you, Danny? And how long have you been there?
I've been with the company 6 years.
6 years.
It's a really unique experience to be with an organization where from the ground level in the store all the way up through the corporate office, everybody is very passionate about what they're doing, and they all have the same focus, and that's taking care of pets and the pet parents. And I've been fortunate to meet a lot of the people throughout our company, and they all, you can talk to them just like you can anybody in the company, and they all have the exact same focus, and everybody's extremely passionate.
It sounds like that you don't have people who just are coming because they need a job.
No, that doesn't happen that way. The people who work at PetSmart work there because they love pets first. And then they come in and they realize, hey, I can actually make a career of this and I can do something with this. And PetSmart allows them and gives them that unique opportunity.
I think that's wonderful. Now, what's coming up in the community for PetSmart? Stuff we can look forward to.
Probably the next thing I've got coming up is February 14th or 16th. I'll have my first adoption event of the year. So we'll have Purina sponsoring that. So we'll have a lot of extra cats in the store. We'll have some dogs being brought in to be shown as well. So that'll be the 14th through the 16th.
And that's this month,
yes,
February?
February the 14th through the 16th. And then, later this year, I'll also, they're planning on doing a big remodel in the store, but that'll be something later on in the year.
What kind of remodel?
We don't have all the details yet.
Oh, okay.
It's already been remodeled once since I've been there, so because they're constantly trying to refresh the stores. But we will be getting it later this year.
How do you advertise the events that you're planning?
They advertise them through Facebook. They'll also advertise it on television. You'll also see it on radio, and you'll see it through signage in the store.
That's great. Is there anything either one of you would like to say? Anything else about your store? Tell us again where it's located, what your hours are.
We're located at 4026 Forge Road, and our hours are Monday through Saturday, 9 to 9, and we're open Sunday, 10 to 7. Salon's always open 2 hours prior, and we really appreciate the opportunity.
I'm glad. And I thank you both for being on the show. This has been
Thank
wonderful.
you.
And I hope that people will go to the store and look at those pets in those cages. I just think that it's such a service that you do for the community and for the animals. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's show, and we'll visit PetSmart as well as considering adopting a shelter pet. All of our cats have been shelter pets, and they're greatest cats in the whole world. My next show will feature Four Seasons sunrooms. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful evening. Good night.